Furniss Die here from Die's Den. Sorry about my paper, it's a bit squishy there. I don't know what happened, I've dropped the whole lot on the floor. Oh dear, never mind. Anyway, today I'm going to show you how to make this card. It is a Centre Step Card, but it is a Faux Centre Step Card, so there is no cutting down the sides to do this. It is two separate pieces of card. So I just thought I'd like to show you how to make this one, and we're going to do another one exactly like this one, which is from the, well, not exactly like this one because some parts I don't have, using the kindest gnomes and the gnome dies to make the little gnome here, along with the stylish shape dies for this piece here. But on this one I used a greeting on the inside from a set that I borrowed off of a friend. So we're not going to use that one, we're going to use this one, which is retired, and this one is called Perfectly Plaid, so if you've got it, great. And I'm putting on the inside, hoping that your busy year comes together in Christmas cheer. So I'm going to do it in exactly the same colours as this and stamping it in Pacific Point. Now this was my original one and I was really happy with the way it turned out, so that's why I decided to do another one. Now this fits into a regular envelope, which is a 4 1/8 by 5 7/8, which is European and Australian size standard envelope. So let's pop them out of the way and let's get cracking, shall we? Okay, let me show you what we need to do this. Now I've already cut out my gnome, so he has legs, a beard, hat and a nose. So I've already done that part for you, so we're not going to have to sit there and cut it out, but he's all in that gnome dies, so you don't really need the gnome stamp set if you don't want to, but the dies are really good because it will come out of the paper, which is this beautiful paper here, which is called, let me tell you what it's called. It is called Storybook Gnomes, and that's got some beautiful papers in it, and it also has these gnomes here that you can actually cut out of the paper. How gorgeous is that? Along with it, oh, look at that just reminds me of the snowy mountains, and nice and Christmassy. And this one, you've got the die in there for cutting out the mushrooms. So, and I just think it's just lovely and whimsical and really pretty. So we are going to be using this paper piece here. So, oops, let me pop that out of the way for now. And let me show you what we need. So we need the main part of the card is 11 3/4 by 4 1/8, and then we need another piece which is 11 3/4 by 2 inches. For the front of our card, at the bottom part here, this bottom piece, we need a piece that measures 3/4 inch by 3 7/8, and another piece that measures 3/4 inch, half an inch by 3 5/8. Okay, for the sides here, oops, sorry, let's bring that back in. For these sides here, we need two pieces that measure 4 5/8 by 1 1/4 and 4 3/8 by 1 inch. For the center section here, we need a piece that measures 4 5/8 by 1 3/4 and 4 3/8 by 1 1/2. We will need then for our inside a piece that measures 4 5/8 by 3 7/8, and another piece that measures 4 3/8 by 3 5/8. And then for our tag on the front that says Merry Christmas, which I've already cut that out but I haven't stamped it, you'll need a piece of card that measures approximately 3 1/4 by 1 1/4 inches. So that bit can go in the bin. So let's move these out of the way. Now we have to make sure when we're putting this one on that we get it the correct way around. We want the 3 7/8 to be across. So we need to make sure that we get them around the correct way for that. So let's move my card out of the way, move all these pieces over, and let's get cracking. I'll leave my little gnome in the corner there. We're going to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to score our 2 pieces of card. So we're going to score on the long side this way, and using our score tool with the small end, because this is card, we're going to score at 1 inch, at 2 inches, and 6 7/8 of an inch, which is the one little mark before the 7. And on our other piece of card, our short piece, which is only 2 inches, on the long side, we're going to score this at 5 7/8 of an inch. And that's all our scoring done. So let's move my scoreboard out of the way, and we will fold and burnish all these score lines. So we're going to just fold that piece, and this piece will be in half. So just make sure that it's really nice and even, you know, like down the sides and along the bottom. And this piece here, we're going to do it at our big end, at our 6 7/8, making sure that it's nice and even on both sides. And then we're going to pop this one back at the second line, which is the 2 inch line, and forward at the 1 inch line. Now that's all our scoring done. So what we're going to do next, before we put this piece on here, we're actually going to do these 2 side pieces here. These 2 pieces here, because it's easy to put these on while this is flat. So I'm going to glue these pieces together, and making sure that if you were using the opposite side of this, or a paper that has a direction, I'm going to, come on, get out of there. Bit of glue stuck on the end there, stopping it from coming out. Oh, that's better. That you put your direction the correct way around. In the case of mine, there isn't any direction, so I'm just going to lay that on there like so. And the same with this one. But if I was using the other side, I would have had to cut it the opposite way, for sure. Okay, so that's my 2 ends done like this, and then I'm going to pop these onto here in the same manner. Now I'm going to, where this second score line is, you're going to make sure that this goes with the same gap along that side and across the top, and the same on the other side. This is a fairly quick and easy card too, believe it or not. So we're going to pop this one on this side, and we have our 2 sides on like so. Now what we're going to do is we're actually going to glue this piece onto here. So if you want, you can measure and just so that you put your glue on there, or you can just guess it, which you know it's going to go between there like so. So if you hold that over like this, you can put your glue to the edge of the panel underneath, and then pop that on like so, making sure that it's nice and even with the bottom of the card here, and we're going to press that down nice and hard. And then we're going to turn this over, and this will match up with the bottom of the card here. So what we're going to do now is we're going to hold this open, and we've got a guide here the same, so we're going to pop glue down the sides, across the top and down the middle here, so that we can pop this one down over the top like so. And if you're like me, you've got just the tiniest little bit hanging off the edge, you can just trim that off, which I'm going to do before I do anything else. So I did have a tiny bit There we go. Okay, so once we've done that, we can now glue our piece into the middle here on the front. And this is one of those cards that you could quite easily, very easily, size up if you prefer a larger card. It would not be that hard to do at all. I'm going to pop that onto the front of the card like so, and then we're going to pop our little bit across the bottom here. Oops, come back you. Turn over, that's it. And we're going to pop that into the middle of the card bottom section. Like so. Okay, so that's our card virtually done. So we're going to do our bit of stamping now, which is our pieces on both of these pieces with our civic point. So I'm going to stamp this bit onto here, like so. Making sure that I've got this on the 3 5/8 side, yes. Oh wow, love that font. Okay, so that's all our stamping done. We'll give that a few seconds to dry. Got glue on my fingers already, and that's because of having glue stuck on the end of the nib there. Okay, so that's going on to that one for the inside of the card, and we pop that onto the inside of the card here. And that's the inside of the card done. So all we're going to do now is actually we're going to assemble our little elf. But before we do that, I'm going to actually colour his boots. So I'm just going to use a piece of scrap. Well, okay, let's open that bit of scrap up. There we go. Oh dear me, what have I done with his legs? Here they are. And I'm using my dark basic black whatever you call this thing, a blender pen, and I'm going to just make his boots black, but his pants can stay the colour they were. So this is just using up some of the scraps, which is really good because this is a great way of using up the scraps, is to make little elves. Okay, so that's the end of that one. So what we're going to do next is we're going to, on this beard, if you can see there's a lines around here which give you the indication of where you need to put glue for your hat. So once you've put your glue on there for your hat, you can put your hat on there, and it matches up really, really well with his hat. There we go. So where's my pin? Let's pop my pin in there for now, because I don't think I need that anymore. Oh yes I do, I need to do his legs. Oh my goodness, I tell you. Alright, so we put a little bit of glue on the bottom of his legs, and then we will put that on there so we can just see his pants through the bottom there. Now I can put the pin in the glue, because I need to get a dimensional to put on his nose. Get off my finger. I'll go on there. And then his nose can just sit where it shows you his nose area is on there. So from there I'm just going to pop some more dimensionals onto the back of, oh gosh, don't tell me I've got another batch of these where the backing doesn't want to come off very well. Okay, I might just cut this one in half to put on his feet, because I didn't bring any small ones across. And then we're going to put a couple on the back of this here, like so. Oh, I think he needs another one in the middle of his hat there, otherwise it's going to sink, and I don't like sinking things. Pop these all off. And we're going to pop him into the middle of our section at the top here, like so. Now before I put this on, I'm actually going to spray this. I have this spray called Sheer Shimmer Craft Spray, or you could always do it with Winker Stella, but my Winker Stella has actually dried up, so I'm going to do it with this. Now I'm going to do it over here, because you just need to hold it about a foot away and just spray it twice, and you get a sparkle on it. It takes a few seconds to dry. You can't really see it very well on there. I don't know if you can see it very well on this one. You can see it on that one. I did it on that one. There you go, look, see? That's once it's dry, how gorgeous that sparkle looks, which you can do with the Winker Stella. This one's still drying. So while that's drying, I'm going to pop this on here. Pop him up the correct way. And I'm going to pop it across where that join is there, like so. And I think that's so gorgeous. What do you think? So easy card to make for any occasion, really. I just have made a couple of Christmas cards. You can see that sparkle on there now. It's just, now that it's drying. I didn't put as much on this one as I did on the other one. I went a bit heavy-handed on the last one. But yeah, I love that spray, and I love Winker Stella. So at the moment, until I get my order, I didn't have any, so I thought I'd do it with that spray, so you can see that there are other options besides that. So that was our card for today. I hope you've enjoyed that. As you can see, I did this one as the best wishes, and inside it just says happy birthday. So I was really happy with the way that one turned out, and these ones here too. So if you would like the written tutorial for this, please head over to Di's Den for stamping, crafting and tutorials. There you will find the written tutorial, and it has, in English, it has both imperial and metric measurements on the tutorial. So, and as I say, this is made for Australian size cards. But it's easy enough to once you get this bit done, you just make it the size you want. So you can make this, you know, the 1/4 of an inch more, which is the American sizes, plus the, you know, three quarters of an inch shorter. It doesn't matter. You can make it bigger, you know, 5 inches by 7 inches. You just would have to put a join on the inside here, I'm sure of that. But great idea, easy to do, no cutting. So, and hoping that you've got them all the right way. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed that. See you again next week. Bye.